Hey y'all, how's everybody doing today? I hope you're having a wonderful Sunday, and I hope you've enjoyed your weekend. I've had a pretty good one, been resting some and doing a few things here and there. In the car where it's quiet right now. Little man's inside with his daddy, so I just wanted to tell y'all a few tips. This is day 23 of my 100 videos in 100 days, and I really appreciate y'all being here as part of the Un-MLM revolution. Appreciate you being here very much. And what I wanted to talk to you about today is something that I have been working on, is just simply following directions. I don't always listen to everything that's said. I tend to run off at the mouth a little bit, too much. Probably because I think I know it all and I want to be in charge. But I'm a work in progress. My husband has helped me a lot to learn how to sit back and relax and let somebody else handle the wheel, and that's nice. I was a single mom for 20 years. It's just me, Well, there was somebody else there for a while, but, I was still kind of the head of the wheel. Anyway, so what I want to talk to you today about is following directions. And in the workplace and in your home life or whatever, it's very important not just to follow directions, but to be able to give directions in a respectful way, in a way that, will, so that you don't feel like you have to micromanage. If you give directions respectfully and detailed and everything, then you're not going to feel like you need to micromanage anybody. And that's one thing that I've learned, especially with having kids and having a husband, is that everybody's not going to do everything the way that I would do it, but they can do it just as well. And I appreciate that. I appreciate that my husband comes in and just gets busy and doing stuff, and I know that I don't have to worry about how he's doing it, because it's getting done. And that's one thing that I have learned to let go of, is that it doesn't have to be done exactly the way that I would do it. Just because it's not done exactly the way that I would do it doesn't mean that it's not right. It's still right. It's done their way, and that's perfectly fine. The point is that it gets done. Now, there are some things, especially in the workplace, that have to be done a certain way. And so, you have procedures that you have to follow, and even in your own business, you still have procedures that you have to follow, depending on what company you're working up under, or even if you have your own. If you don't follow certain procedures on a daily basis, then things are going to get disorganized. Everybody's not going to know which direction we're going next. But you don't have to micromanage. Again, that's not necessary. So, what's most important is to be respectful, whether you're giving directions or following directions. You have to be respectful of each other. Don't be afraid to ask questions. For me, that's a big plus. And I've told you before, I do ask a lot of questions, especially when I'm getting to know somebody, or when I am given a task. I'll stop and I'll say, hey, wait a minute, I don't understand that last part. Can you repeat that? And then I may come back a day later, if I have time to complete the task a day later, I may say, hey, I really didn't understand this part. Can you go over that again? And I do take a lot of notes. I'm like, whoa, slow down. Slow down. Miss Kelly, she's, I'll tell her in a minute, all right, slow down. I didn't get that part. Tell me that again. So, I think it's very important to ask questions, and allow others to, wait a second, after you explain something to somebody, hold on a second and let them ask the questions that they need to ask, because if they don't have a good understanding of it, then, especially if it's one of those things that has to be followed, then they're not going to do it right, and it's not going to be that it's just not done like you want it done, but it's not going to be done right, and then it's going to have to be redone, and guess what? That costs money, because time is money in business, okay? So, and then I know for running a household, time is not money, but time is of the essence a lot of times, especially if you have several kids, or, and everybody's going different directions. You have to keep that schedule. So I have had a household before where I had several kids. And so it's very, very, very important to do things in a timely fashion. And it's very important that everybody has an understanding of what needs to be done. So, following directions, make sure you're listening, If it's a verbal instruction, make sure you're listening to everything. Be quiet. Um, Write things down. Take notes. Active listening. And then repeat back every now and then. Repeat back every now and then what you're being told, so that the person giving you directions knows that you know what they're saying and what the understanding is, and make sure you're on the same page, in other words. Okay, so I hope that helps. Just a few little tips to help you with listening, following directions, giving directions. Biggest thing I think is just to be nice and be respectful. Be mindful of the other person, and be mindful of what you're doing. And don't be afraid to sit and think about things if you need to figure out how to get that task done. In the best, most efficient manner. So I hope that helps. Thank you for joining me again this Sunday afternoon, and I hope y'all have a great night. God bless. Night. Bye.